you just saw something. Look at Willie's here, Diane.
You'll believe that tiny little drop slide contains all these things.
A few days ago, I bought a microscope on Facebook Marketplace for $60. I had no microscope experience, no way to know if I was getting a good deal, no real plan, just curiosity and a pond. Kyson and I collected some gross water, the greener stuff, the slimier stuff, the stuff that makes you think, probably don't touch that. We put a drop under the microscope, we adjusted focus, and then...
Whoa, did you just see something?
What can you see through a $60 microscope? I've owned telescopes before, spent years pointing lenses into space, looking at the giant and distant, and yet somehow I'd never owned a decent microscope. But since we have a curious 10-year-old in the family, I thought it's probably the right time. It turns out there are a lot of microscopes available, and I had no idea what I was looking at, and it quickly made me overwhelmed. So I turned to Reddit for help. Once I had a better understanding of my goals, I started sending messages and haggling. You take 40? No? 45? No? What about you deliver it and I pay 60? Score. Once it showed up, I promptly made myself look like an idiot by trying to view a $1 bill without the eyepieces installed. It was clear we had some things to figure out. So we watched tutorials, we figured out magnification and focus and loading slides.
Boring.
We figured out that microscopes become significantly less effective without the eyepieces. So the next day, excited about seeing microscopic life, we went microbe hunting. When most people think about wildlife, they think big. Bears and deer, fish and birds, but most life doesn't exist at that scale. We headed to a park to find some green water, because if you want microscopic life, clean water is not where things get interesting. The strange green film, the algae, standing water, decaying plant material, that's where life tends to gather. So, scientifically speaking, our strategy was to find the grossest water possible. This water is quite green. Yeah. Get some of the muck. Grab a chunk of it like a wild cocktail.
I stepped on the... Yeah.
Cool.
What? Taking a video of me?
No. At first, we didn't see much. Some sand and bits of debris, but when we actually went out of our way to put the green stuff on the slide, things got really, really interesting. Algae was everywhere. It looked just like it looks in textbooks, with clearly individual cells with chloroplasts. I was amazed. Kyson, however, was not quite as thrilled with this part. I tried to share with him that simple photosynthetic creatures like algae and cyanobacteria shaped the planet billions of years ago. I told him that for most of Earth's existence, life was single-celled, and little green cells, much like what we were seeing, transformed the oceans and atmosphere, creating the groundwork that would eventually bring on complex life.
Boring.
I tried to get this point across, but Kyson just wanted to see action, so we kept looking. something's moving. We got a better focus on it, and my uneducated brain had no idea what I was looking at. I quickly Googled, frantically trying not to appear uninformed, but the only thing I could come up with was, maybe this is a ciliate? Ciliates are diverse phylum of single-celled eukaryotic organisms. They are distinguished by the hairy-like protrusions called cilia that help them move and hunt. As I was learning these facts, I was in awe. I had a general knowledge of eukaryotes and prokaryotes thanks to channels like SciShow and PBS Eons, but I just didn't think a $60 investment could get me this kind of glimpse. It wasn't long before we started seeing other organisms. Some moved fast. Some were slow and methodical.
Pretty sure that is a ciliate.
Some were clearly on a mission.
I'm following the big guy.
And some just floated where the current took them. Some looked green, some had what I can only assume were organelles in their bodies. But before long, these sparse interactions with the planet's oldest creatures bored our little 10-year-old, so we put the microscope and Stinky water away. One week later, the bug hit us again. I wonder what's in that jar now. So we set up the scope and opened the jar to prepare some more slides, and we were hit with an instant and intense plume of what I can only describe as sewer. Kyson had a different way of describing it.
Ugh.
I think that still smells like poop.
I can smell it from here.
Not and fully appreciate it.
Yeah, it's not fully appreciated.
Okay.
Yeah. Pookie.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were in for a treat. This time, the slide was a jungle, full of life at every spot. My favorite of these tiny enigmatic creatures has to be the Vorticella. When I first saw one, I had to share my excitement with my wife.
Katie, I'm watching a thing. It is like a net. It looks like a net. And it sucks stuff in real fast. Like unbelievably fast. I don't know, like, what could have possibly... Oh my god, it's so cool.
Vorticella are ciliates, using those little hairs near what I can only think and describe as the opening of their net, creating a vortex and then sucking it in an instant. Fascinating. And for whatever reason, the week in the jar had grown so many Vorticella that what was a unique and rare treat became commonplace. In addition to the Vorticella, we saw bigger and scarier looking things. Wormy guys, crabby guys, slimy guys, slender guys, and truly and honestly scary guys.
Oh dang! Oh yeah, that's a...
Rotifer, look at him.
I think it... Whoa,
Look
that
at-
was...
look at
That's
the-
like a big...
I don't know what this guy's name is, but he loved being on camera.
Oh no, he's back! He's back!
We would pan around and then end up back near him where he would still be staring directly at us, plotting his way out of his temporary restrictions and planning the inevitable demise of everyone who put him there. I'd spent years looking outward at biggest and most incredible things I thought existed in this universe, and I never expected some of the most curious things that I would ever see would come out of a single drop of pond water. These creatures are the foundations of life on Earth. They're the quantum to our relativistic experience. What makes sense at our scale does not always make sense at theirs. They blur the categories we naturally build. Plant-like, animal-like, sometimes both. This makes sense to me because they are windows into deep evolutionary history. They are the base of the tree of life. Without them, there is no you or me, no Cambrian explosion, no Ice Age megafauna, no complex life at all. For most of human existence, humans didn't know any of this existed. The first microscopes only appeared a few hundred years ago. And while that event changed our understanding of life on Earth, it did not change the lives of the microbes. They've always been doing essentially this, just going about their lives, waiting for someone to look closely.